You gotta redo your work schedule so you can watch my streams. Thank God. At least you know where your priorities lie. Welcome back, Overlieutenant. So glad that you did the mature, responsible thing. I thought we'd lost you forever. Damn it. I thought I would be lost forever too with that 343. You finally found your, found it. Excellent work, Mr. Gergdorn. Thank you, Mr. Leaky, 666. The crazy clock guides us all into new histories, and hark, hark, for we delight. I want to read this, but I can't say it with a straight face. The crazy clock guides us all into new histories, and hark, for we delight when Mr. Gordon has that hat season upon us all. Has hat season? I got a haircut today. Check out my smooth bald. It's the only way I can get attention from any woman is to go pay her to cut my hair. So needless to say, I am fully recharged. I've had all of my romantic and adult needs met for the next several months. Perhaps 34.3 Ito ear weightlifting would help. Perhaps. Would you ever get 343 tattooed upon your scalp and then you have a great conversation starter when your haircuts ensue? No, I don't like talking when I get my haircut. If I talk during my haircut, it's because they're talking. I mean, you know, I ask them how they're doing and all that. But, that's not, I don't know. I have to talk all fucking day, man. I teach these kids, and then for some reason I decided to start streaming, which is basically just me rambling for 4 hours straight. So, you know, in between those things, I don't want to talk to anybody. I don't want to talk to my friends, my family. I don't want to talk at all. Definitely don't want to talk to the haircut lady. Just want to relax, observe the futility of trying to improve my appearance and, pay up and get out of there. Oh, shit. What the fuck? What about the entire left side of your chest? No. It's because Mr. Grodorn is so great and everyone loves him and everything he has to say. I don't think so. I think it's because I like hearing myself talk. And when I'm streaming, I don't detect how uninterested people are in what I have to say. So gets rid of that whole social nicety. Wait, is that the right word? Nicety? Yeah, it works. I think it's unfair to deprive those in your daily life of the most genius thoughts of the world's greatest genius. Well, even the world's greatest geniuses' throats get tired. You know what I mean? Can't the world's greatest geniuses have a little break, a little downtime? What? What the fuck? What the fuck? Shit. I don't fucking get it. What the fuck? Am I just a fucking idiot? Like, I'm just a fucking moron, apparently. never been so mad. What words do they need but sorry I'm busy 343ing? Yeah, that's right. We should make t-shirts that say that. Sorry I'm busy 343ing. Reset the clock timer. I heard that works. Mr. Grodorn knows all the most incredible notes and rhythms by heart. If only the world could keep up with his brilliant Brians because he's so kind to share so many wisdoms. Mr. Gurgdorn merch. I think that basically would just be Mr. Leaky merch. I mean, I guess we could put the emblazon the raccoon upon a... I'm going to start looking up words before I say them. Well, that word does not mean what I thought it meant. We could emblazon a raccoon upon a vest. 343 merch when? When this fucking 343 shit gets me 50 goddamn subs. That's when we'll get the merch. My subscriber count has been pure shit. Sorry I'm busy 343ing. I told the librarian about you the other day. Thank you. I hope you tell many librarians about me in the coming months. I think the channel name changes all the time. Send your algorithms gradually to hell. Well, that's great because I'm going to debrand. I've already decided I'm going to do it. But I'm waiting until this album's done, and then I'm going to debrand. I'm just going to go back to Gordon Weary. But I'm putting it off because it's just kind of annoying because I have to re-change all my names, and I have to, like... I have a channel called Gordon Weary. So I don't know how I'm going to even do it. A new golden age. That's probably going to just screw up things even more. Because actually when I first rebranded it was fine. But I don't know, maybe not. Holy shit. That's so bad. I'm now banned from all public libraries because you told someone about me. Hey, Davey. Welcome back, dude. How you doing? Oh my god. The song is so sick. Dude, just wait. I got something to show you, dude. If you think this is sick, Wait until you hear what I've been cooking up on Zen paper. A song where Gordon is just really mad, that's like probably 40% of my output. If you go to that link in the top right corner, you can verify. Hey, Mr. Gordorn, you should do a Grow Tonight census. Census? What is that? Like, ask people how much money they make? Like, ask them where they live? Ask them about intimate details about their personal relationships. I don't really know my viewers. I imagine they're all just like bored teenagers. No, except for you guys. I feel like the regulars are like 20-something musicians. For the most part. And then, although I don't know how old Davey is. And then a lot of the microtonal people are like teenagers. But I don't know. I don't have that information. There is YouTube stats. I could look at those. I haven't looked in a while. I just remember it said 100% of my audience is male. Let's see. Let's go look at my stats. How do I see my stats? Analytics. Audience. Most of my viewers are new viewers. Only 3% are regular viewers. That means a lot of people see my stream and they just don't come back. New viewers who returned. Very low. Yeah, that's what I just said. I kind of figured that part out. Okay. Oops. Where'd that go? I'm gonna do some experimental 343 art. Nice. Age and gender. 100% male. 18 to 24, 10%, 25 to 34, 40%, 35 to 44, 30%, 45 to 54, 14%. I'm not showing you. I mean, this is kind of personal, isn't it? United States, 20%. United Kingdom's 4%. Okay. There you go. Most people watch on a computer, but about 30% watch my stream on mobile. Most watch on a computer, though. Okay, very nice. Alright. I don't know, man. Nobody watches. What do you even do? I mean, a couple people watch. I mean, we got some regulars. We got some regulars, that's for sure. Every once in a while we have a good stream, but this was really just about the stream I would have quit 6 months ago, or not 6 months ago, I would have quit today, because it's really not going that well, but I really just have shit I have to do, and I can either do it secretly, as I have done for most of my life, or I can broadcast it live on the internet, and maybe someone will get something out of that. So that's what I choose to do. Do I go into David Lynch-esque rant when you find out they were watching your incredible video upon the telephone? No. I don't really care. I think watching on mobile or watching on a computer is probably more a reflection of someone's age than anything else. Because most people who are older are probably watching on a computer because they probably have their own house. Probably have a nice space and they can play my shitty music without feeling embarrassed when their roommate hears them or whatever. Whereas younger people probably have, family or roommates or whatever. Probably lay in bed and watch on their phone. I mean, I watch a lot of shit on my phone, but it's usually like I'm trying to pass out, or I'm like on a walk or something, or I'm at the gym. Man, I suck at this shit. You're a very incredible guy, Mr. Gridno. Thank you, Mr. Leaky. You too. What an incredible leaky guy you are. The Leakster. My phone has been dead for the past 8 months. What utility does it give? Well, you can talk to people. I mean, it's basically just a computer that you can talk to people on. So for instance, I got double charged by a fucking restaurant. They charged me an extra $66. So I'm gonna use my phone to potentially call them, so I can complain. And then if they tell me I have to take it up with the bank, I'm gonna call up my bank. Because if I do it online, they're gonna send me a new debit card. I don't need them to send me a new fucking debit card, man. I just need them to refund my $66, man. Charge me for $66 for nothing. Will I do that on stream? No, I do not stream when I'm doing regular stuff, like adult stuff. I will never do that. No cooking stream. No doing paying the bills stream. No errand streams. Not unless people start paying me money to do this and beg for it. Alright. With their dollars. So, here's what I've been doing in Zen paper. So I took all of the best what I call diet JI tunings. So the Itos that have the best just JI chords in general. Not like one off, but like 7 limit, potentially more. And those are 31 Ito, 41 Ito, and 53 Ito. And in this size range, they do it better than all the others. They're better than all the rest. And I took their O-tonal chord approximations, so like the 4, 5, 6, 4, 5, 6, 7, 4, 5, 6, 7, 11, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 11, blah, 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 up to the 13. And did somewhere I took out the 4, took out the 4 and the 5, blah, blah, blah. And so we can listen to all of these and compare them to the actual JI chords. 343 Ito is JI. 343 Ito is not JI. It has a really well-tuned 17th harmonic. And Itos of that size all have well-tuned harmonics because the pitch resolution is so high that they can't really be more than 3 cents off of any given interval because every Ito step is only like 3 cents. So but it's not JI. You can still hear the difference. Well, not on the 17th harmonic, you can't, but anyway, short answer, no. The reason why is sort of complicated. I don't feel like getting into it. It would just be annoying to do. Alright, anyway, here we go. 31, then, or for JI, then 31, then JI, then 41, then JI, then 53. So this is the 4, 5, 6 chord. So once again, here's 31. So the first one's JI, then this is 31. So these sound really similar. And then JI, and then 41. Also sound really similar. As JI, and then 53. And again, they sound super similar. So these, every one of these has a really good 4, 5, 6. I can barely hear any difference. And honestly, I can't really tell you what the difference even is. Alright, and now let's go to the 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, for some reason it juked the timing. I don't know why. So on this one, you can hear high frequency beating. I don't know if you guys are noticing that, but if you listen on this one, there is high frequency warble in all these chords. In my opinion, the 53 Ito one sounds the smoothest. So if you listen to this, you can hear going on in the top. And then on this one, it's a little faster, but it's very similar. It's just wah, wah, wah. And then, why is that one getting cut short? That's very bizarre. And then on this one, it sounds very smooth. You can hear it though, it's just very fast. The beating is very fast, and it sounds really smooth. And compare that to the JI chord. So in the JI chord, there's like no high frequency turbulence. But in the 53 Ito chord, there is, but it's really smooth sounding. It's kind of a pleasant texture that gets added. It reminds me of like a cricket or something. Whereas in these, it sounds a little more whiny and metallic. That one's okay. It's just like a slow wah, wah, wah. And they all sound good, don't get me wrong. And that one's a little rah, rah, throatier, a little rah, 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 rah. And this one. But this one just feels like a nice, steady. Dude, why the fuck? This shit is fucking broken, man. Alright, anyway. So, yeah, the 4, 5, 6, 7 chord, they all sound pretty similar, but I think 53's sounds the best. And then the 4, 5, 6, 7, 11. So once you get to the 11th harmonic, you can actually hear how 31 is actually out of tune. Because that sounds flat. I think it's actually sharp. Hold on, let me check. Anyway, it sounds off, whatever it is. Oh, it is flat. Never mind. Okay, so yeah, that one sound, you can kind of hear that it's flat. Whereas in 41, it's pretty reasonably in tune. You just hear the beating. So you can hear that wah, 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 wah in the background. It sounds like maybe it's a little sharp, but it's pretty close. I think this one manifests more like rapid beating, or roughness, whatever you want to call it, than the 31 Ito one does. 31 Ito sounds more just kind of out of tune. And then again, 53 is very smooth. So I think I like 53s the most. I thought I liked 41s more at first, but the more I hear the 53, the more I like it more. The rage of Gordon, the non-enviable wrath of Representative Gordon is overplayed. Wow. Alright, so I don't even know what that means. Alright, and then 31, so 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 11. Such a cool chord. So and on 31 it's noticeably off. I mean, nobody can argue that. Listen to that. It's not a bad chord, but it's very off from the JI, which makes sense because prime 3 is pretty flat in 31. So once you get to 9, because since prime 3 is like 5 cents flat or whatever, once you get to 9, it's like 10 cents flat, basically. So that's pretty far off. But 11 is also 10 cents flat, so you might think, oh, well, maybe that's a nice thing. I don't know. It's not a bad chord, but it doesn't sound like the JI chord as much. and then 41 kind of holds up better. So this is pretty clear evidence that like 41 is a better 11 limit system than 31. Granted, it is a little more nuanced than just playing this chord, because there's not just like how well an Ito represents one particular prime, like in its most basic expression, which in this case, like the 11 limit, the most basic interval of that is 11/8. But there's other 11 limit intervals that, depending on how the other primes are mistuned, they might actually be better in 31 than in 41, blah, blah, blah. But that being said, like the prime being, if everything is decently tuned, then the well-tunedness of some particular prime is going to be a pretty clear indicator of how well that limit is represented. So it is a little more nuanced than I'm making it out, but this is evidence. It still is evidence in favor of 41 as an 11 limit system over 31. So these don't sound identical, but I think we can agree that the character of the 41 Ito chord is more similar to the JI chord than the 31 Ito chord is to the JI chord. Although the 41 and 31 are not that different. Actually, I kind of want to compare those two. That would be worth doing. So these do sound pretty similar. Alright, anyway. And then the 53 version. Now here's where it gets kind of weird for me, because I kind of feel like here 41 is better than 53, like on this particular chord, which I don't know why, because 3 is tuned slightly sharp in 41. Well, the thing is, in 53, 7 is not tuned super well. It's not that terrible either. But it's almost 5 cents sharp. So it's pretty good, but it's not as good as these other ones. So 3 is almost perfect in 53. And then 5 is only 1.5 cents off. In 31, 3 is 5 cents flat, but 7 is only 1 cent off, and 5 is only 1 cent off. Oh, I should compare no 3's stuff too. Because that's probably, I bet 31 will shine in the no 3's. So just do like 1, 5, and 7. We'll do that too. And then 41 prime 5 is the worst. It's 6 cents off, 6 cents flat. And then 7 is 3 cents flat. But 5 is really good, and 11 is really good. So actually, if you look at these, even though 5 is like 6 cents off, if you look up to prime 11, in 53, 11's is 8 cents off, but in 41 it's only 5 cents off. Whereas in 31 it's 11 cents off. So 53 is, the lower primes are tuned the best, and then as you go higher they get tuned worse, so it's kind of like proportionate to the limit in that way, until you get to 13, where what's funny though is even like, I mean 17's pretty far off, But 19 is really good too. It's only 3 cents off. And I don't know if this is good enough for 23 or not. I don't even know what the hell 23 does, but it's got a really good 13 though. 53 does. Whereas 41, 13 is almost, I mean, it's 8 cents sharp. But 31, it's 11 cents sharp, so. But I think if you just look at the 11 limit, 41 looks better, I think. I think it looks better on average. Because the worst error is 5.8 cents on prime 5. Whereas the worst error on both of these other ones is more. Because in 31 you have 9 cents off of 11. 53 you have 8 cents off of 11. So 41 actually has less error in the 11 on the up to 11. But 5 and 11 are mistuned in the opposite direction, which does matter. Whereas in 53 they're mistuned in the same direction. And in 31 they're also, primes 3 and 11 are mistuned in the same direction. So it doesn't matter for like a 4, 5, 6, 7 up to 11 chord, but it does matter for chords that involve, well, it does kind of matter actually, because, but like that can kind of hide in the big chord. But like if you had 5 and 11, yeah, like 11, 10 would be like 10 cents off, because you would have to add these together. You'd have to add the distance between these together, and that would be the error there. Whereas here, these are only like, here 11 and 3, so like 11, 6 would only be like 4 cents off. And then here, well, 7 and 11 are in opposite directions, but 5 and 11 are not. So like 11, 6 would only be 6 cents off too. Anyway, who cares about 11, 6, but just saying. So what I was curious about was in this chord, why does 41 feel better? I think it's because, I don't know. I can't tell you. It seems like it shouldn't, but I kind of like it more. So 41 seems better for this chord. I should put some notes. How do I leave a comment? And I thought on these all seem the same. Alright. And then what about the 343 version? We're not ready for that, dude. Alright. So we're adding a 13. So when you add the 13, they all seem kind of off. And 1, I think 53 is the best. I think it's because the 13 is the closest. So you kind of, I think that kind of pokes out. But they do get progressively better. Like 41 seems better than 31. I do want to compare these though directly. So yeah, you can definitely tell they're all, like at this point, they're very obviously not JI. And then it stops being as much about what sounds the most like the JI chord. It starts, although, I mean, it still is, but it's kind of like which just sounds the most stable as a chord out of the non-JI ones. Because honestly, all of them sound so similar, but none of them sound like the JI version. So at this point, I think the errors just accumulate. And also the overall texture of the sound becomes so chaotic that the specific mistunings don't really get perceived that well. So I feel like these three chords kind of all sound very similar. Even though they're obviously different. I do think 53's does sound the best. Like it has the most stable kind of like beating. Has the most pleasant beating, but the Ito versions sound more alike than any of these sound like the JI, basically. So there's no clear winner here. I mean, there's no great JI chord here that you're going to confuse for JI. Now here, once we add the 9 back in, you can actually hear more beating in the upper register. And I think 31's is obviously, it's like more obvious. The beating is more obvious because it's a slower warble. So we just compare the Ito chords. So in 31 you can hear it going wah 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 wah. In 41 you hear a high frequency content, but it feels almost like a flat line. It's like too fast to appreciate any like it doesn't sound like a tremolo or anything like that. And then same thing with 53. You can hear high frequency content that's not in the JI chord, but it's very stable. So I think 41's you can kind of hear a rapid oscillation. I mean, you can in 53 too, though. So I think I think they have a slightly different character, but they're almost indistinguishable. With this particular chord. So I think 53 had a slightly better one of these. But once you add the 9 in, it kind of doesn't seem to matter. Okay, and then let's go to chords that don't have the 4 in them. So here's just 5, 6, 7. So I think these, you can tell there's a difference on all of them. They have a slightly different character, but it's kind of hard to appreciate specifically what the differences are. I think once again 31 has the slowest beating, 41 is kind of in the middle, and 53 is the fastest. I think if we listen to these back to back, that may be a little more obvious. So yeah, it does seem to be the case. And then, so in that case, I don't know that there's a clear winner. Generally, I'd say this 53 is probably the best, because the beating, the high frequency oscillations are rapid enough that they kind of feel smooth. But they all sound pretty much the same. Or they sound different, but the difference is too subtle to appreciate. So here you can really hear how badly tuned the 9 is in 31. And I actually think 41 sounds the closest. But 31 is a clear loser. And let's keep going. 53 is fine though. 31. So here again, I kind of feel like 41 is the most similar to the JI chord. But actually 31 and 53 sound kind of similar, which is strange. But I think this is just evidence. Well, you may remember 31, 3 and 11 are both flat, and same thing in 53. So I think that's what we're hearing is the or 5 and 11 are both flat. I think we're kind of hearing that. So 5 and 11 are both flat in 53 and in 31. Whereas in 41, 5 is flat, 11 is sharp. Actually, 41 should be worse. No, the difference would be 9 here. Theirs would be 5 here. Between those two particular intervals. Theirs would be 4 here. So the difference between 3 and 11 would be closer in 31 and 53. But since those primes are actually further off, I do think this one sounds the most similar. Yeah, it definitely sounds more like GI than that. And that too. So I think it has to do with that 11 being in tune. But let's listen to them all back to back. And actually, let's listen to 53 and 31 back to back. Oops. Hold on. I can't do it like that. Let's do it like this. And let's throw in 41. And yeah, 41 sounds more like it even after 53. Even after hearing 53, 41 sounds more like the JI one. So I think in this case, 41 is the clear winner. I don't need to rewrite 41. Just write wins. Now 5, 6, 7, 9, 11, 13. So if we add 13 to the mix, what happens? How goes it? Still doesn't have some close to the edge. Who's this sound? This sound chaser? Yeah, I just wanted to like do this on stream and re-listen to these and kind of just like think out loud. But yeah, I think I'm gonna check out those mappings after this. I'll look into music production soon with the limited hardware I have. I will go to sleep now. Have a good night. Overlieutenant. YouTube just started doing that where they're like not, they're just like, I don't know. They're making everybody's like, account name their display name now. They just started doing that recently. It's really annoying because a lot of people have come to my chat and I don't even know who they are anymore. Well, it's only happened a couple times, but what was I doing? Oh yeah, so if we add 13 into the mix, what happens? I feel like 31 and 31 sound really similar. Waffle needs another can. She's had her cans. She's got walnuts, dude. I got mad at her earlier for eating walnuts off the ground. So 31 and 53 sound really similar. '41 sounds its own way. I think 41 sounds the closest, actually. So even though Prime 13 is better tuned in 53, I think this chord sounds more accurate in 41. I wonder if it's because it's rooted on the 5. But that makes no sense because 5 is better in 53. And 5 and 13 have opposite errors in 40. I really don't get it because all this stuff I've learned about DR and stuff, it doesn't seem to be applying here. I don't understand why 41 sounds the best here. I don't know if best is the right word, but it sounds the most accurate. So maybe I typed in my numbers wrong or something. I don't really know. I'm a little confused because on paper it seems like 53 should win. But my ears tell me 41 wins that one. But 53 definitely won. That's 5, 6, 7, 9, 11, 13. 53 tied with the 4. Interesting. Okay, let's just keep going. Yeah, 53 and 31 sound almost the same. Another handful of acorns should help. Maybe the 13, 11 sits better in 41 since they're both sharp. But in 53, 13, 11 is more inaccurate. 13, 11. No, 53 they're out in the same direction. They're both flat. Oh, they are in 41 too. They're only 4 cents apart in 41. And they're about 5 cents apart in 53. But 53 and 31 sound really similar. Is the other thing. In 31, the errors seem to go every which way. So the 11 and the 13 are off by like 20 cents. Because if you listen to 31 and 53, they sound really similar. I think. But they're not necessarily mistuned the same way. This does sound closer, though, to JI than 31 does. I don't know, maybe 53 does sound the best. Maybe I'm wrong. Huh. You know what? Now I don't know. Kind of going back. Maybe this does sound more similar. '41 sounds crunchier. '41 seems to have more high frequency stuff going on. 53 seems to have a lower but also high range oscillations going on, but they're a little slower. So I think it's the slow beating maybe in 53 that I'm picking up on. Whereas in 31 it's they sound like totally different chords. Okay, I don't know, that one is really tough actually. I feel like it's a toss-up though between 41 and 53. Let's put a question mark. Actually, let's put more detailed notes in that. It seems to be like faster high frequency oscillations, and then this would be slower lower high. Okay, slower lower high frequency oscillations. Okay, that's about as good as I'm going to get on that. And then this just sounds very messy. Okay, I don't need to put a note for that, I don't think. So 6, so now 6 on the bottom. So 6, 7, 9. Okay, I gotta say 41's sounds really cool. None of these sound pure. 53's probably sounds the closest. Although they're all really good. So I can hear high frequency oscillations in all 3 of these. These seem to be the that's pure. This one is like the most obvious, like wow, 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 and then that one's maybe a tad bit smoother. And 31 actually seems to be the most chill. So they all sound really good though. And I have noticed on the 3-note chords, it seems harder to distinguish overall roughness and stuff happening. It doesn't seem to matter as much in 3-note chords. So let's say this has the slowest beating. It seems to have the fastest beating. 53 is kind of in the middle. Okay. So sometimes in these chords, the high frequency disturbances are less warbly and more like a sheen. And I think that's very clear with like this chord right here. Like you don't really hear the oscillation so much, but you hear the frequency in the chord. So it's almost just like a pure timbral difference. Just like a metallic sheen, basically. And in 53s, there's a similar thing, but it's a little airier. So I think these are like kind of interesting observations. This kind of has an airy sheen. This kind of has a metallic sheen. And then 31, 31 sounds quite nice, actually. I think if we slow it down a little bit, there's There's just like a slow warble on this one. It's just very slow. And this one's very pure sounding. So I think maybe 31 sounds the best on this chord, which is interesting. It's got the 11. It doesn't sound the most in tune though. It's just I think a problem too is like I'm focusing so much on the upper harmonic stuff. I'm not even listening to like the tuning as much. So I think that's kind of a weird thing you can start to do when you start listening for this kind of stuff, because normally when you listen to music you don't even notice this stuff, at least not consciously. And I think shifting your attention to it, you can kind of lose track of the more basic fundamental thing, which is the actual pitches of the fundamentals. So as much as like the upper stuff sounds good in this chord, it's not as well tuned. Like it's obviously not as well tuned. Like you can just hear the pitch shift. So if we're just talking about harmonic, like spectral dirt, maybe 41 and 53 are slightly dirtier for some random reason. So let's make a note of that. So this is maybe spectrally clear, but out of tune. Okay, and that's sort of a similar idea to like DR. So if we look at like these 6, 7, 9, 11, so 6 is just 3, so 3 and 9 are both going to be really flat. So 9 is going to be like 10 cents flat, and then 7 is 1 cent flat. And what else is in there? Just 11. Oh, and 11 is 9 cents flat. So maybe that's a DR thing, because the 11.9 is about yeah. Anyway, I think you get what I'm saying. So the 11 is 9 cents flat, and then the 9 is 9 cents flat. So together, they make a clear. Although I do hear a little warble in there for sure. This one sounds a little busier. I think at 41 it seems like it's actually the most stable. It's kind of weird. All right, okay, enough of that. Thinking of 43. Every fantastic number can be used for excellent stuff in the hands of someone as cool and fantastic as Mr. Grodorn, because I ride to the kingdom of Grodorn and I breathe the fantastic winds, and I said the sky is fantastic. Did you have a particular goal with these tests, or are you just exploring the different sounds? Well, I'm really reluctant to do like any of these tunings. It's just that they're high interest tunings. And the reason they're high interest is because they're good JI analogs and stuff. So I get curious about them and like what that even means. So I'm just trying to get an idea for myself of like, obviously this is not a very comprehensive look because I'm just looking at particular chords. There's more to a tuning too than it's like GI approximations. Obviously there's like structural differences, different temperaments that get supported and whatnot, different scales and chords available, blah blah blah. But in tunings of this size, you pretty much have access to every kind of flavor that you might want, and then some. So I'm really just looking at what's, I guess, the main reason people look at these in particular so much. I just want to get a sense for like how they're different from each other. I'd say 31 is probably the most popular, followed by 53 and 41, but 41 seems to be getting more popular lately with like lamplight and stuff. Obviously like kite guitar too. How come I feel so reluctant to try them? Maybe just like explain more uncommon stuff more. It could be that to some degree, although I don't know, I guess I'm kind of in the middle as far as that like dichotomy of like wanting to do like a really weird tuning or do like a really pure tuning, because I tend to gravitate to stuff that's kind of in between, like 22, like obviously it has like more 7 limit stuff than 12, but or like better 7 limit stuff than 12, but and some 11 limit stuff too, but it's not like tuned super accurately. I don't really seem to care that much about that, but it's something that people care about. But like every time I mess with 31, pretty much other than just like playing these kind of chords, it never really grabs me. So I do keep going back to it because I feel like obligated in some sense, like it's basic xenharmonic literacy or something. But I don't know. I think in analyzing them, I'm kind of looking for, yeah, they sound plain for sure. I think in analyzing them, I feel like I'm feeding that monkey or whatever, getting that monkey off my back a little bit. Also, I'm just curious because this is the kind of stuff people talk about. So I have a tendency to just like write everything off that I don't understand. So if I explore it, I can either maintain my attitude and at least have kind of an informed opinion so that people don't just think I'm some jackass, which really I kind of am, or my mind will change and I'll hop on the train and get what everybody else is getting out of it, So I don't know. I just can't. It feels like a distraction to some degree, but one that I kind of acquiesced to. Is that the right word? Kind of just accepted it. I don't think I'm going to escape it. Alright, let's go. So again, I feel like 41 and 53 both sound more metallic than the 31. These are interesting though, because I think 41 and 53 have distinct characters. I can't really tell which one's more accurate in terms of just sonic impression, but I think you and me are similar though in that we're not even a big fan of crazy accurate to JI stuff. Yeah, I'm not too wild about it. I kind of like it when there's hints of it more than when it's just like, I don't know, sometimes I feel like that's kind of what 31 has to offer. And like, I don't know, like 31 can sound like really too like placid overall, and JI can too. I don't know, 31 can sound really cool, JI can sound really cool. I'm not knocking either of them. But another thing too that has been going on in my mind a lot lately is like, what? Like, if you want JI, shouldn't you just do JI? Because I feel like the psychoacoustic properties of JI are kind of easily destroyed. And like, really, like, right now we are capable of this like hyper precise tuning. And if you're interested in JI, maybe you should just do pure JI, because like it's never been possible really to do pure JI. I mean, people have done experiments and stuff, but like you could never until recently like tune all your synths like perfectly pure to this like hyper precision. Like everybody used to do JI just by ear, which you can lock into it and stuff, but there's just like limitations of like you can't really do it pure by voice because there's no way to keep a totally stagnant pitch with your voice. It's just like not really physically possible for a sustained period of time. And like same thing with like playing strings and stuff. Like you can use your ear to find a really pure chord because it'll ring, it'll have that resonance and all that, but it's just like even though you can kind of hear it all lock in, it's just like not really physically possible to maintain that. So like really the only way to do like pure JI is to do it electronically, and it'll do it with better precision than your ear could ever give you, and it can just be as close to perfect as any person is ever going to experience. So I don't know, there's something about that, just like that being a novel possibility, where it's like, why even if you're gonna fuck with Eidos, does it matter even? I think it matters to some degree, but it's almost like a different, I think it matters kind of for different reasons. Like with Eidos, it's more about the overall impression you get from the sounds, and more about like what kind of scales and stuff are available, what kind of scales and chords are available, and how it like colors those basic chord and scale categories. Like in 22, I can say it has a major mode, and it feels very chill and subdued compared to 12 Eido. And that can be a desirable thing. And I can say it has like a diatonic scale, but it's kind of quirky because it has it's variety 3, and if you do the rank 2 version, the super pyth version, feels kind of off and alien. It's just like it has this kind of like, you know, quirky alien, almost like a friendly alien quality like baked into it, and it's like that's what's cool about it. I think the sounds of Ito's can be nicely explained by its error from JI, but that's not because the JI sound is important for its own sake. Yeah, and that's the other thing is like people have been like have like ranked sounds and stuff and like in like different like psychoacoustic music studies, whatever. Ethnomusicological, whatever, psychoacoustic studies, and like people rate near JI over pure JI, generally speaking. So that being said, I mean, you can definitely hear things in like this chord. Like this chord has a particular like it has a purity in that there's like no high frequency oscillations going on. There's nothing being added to the sound up there. But in the Ito versions there is. And like a nice big JI chord has a crazy buzz that's really cool, especially with a sufficiently complex waveform. But I kind of have a hypothesis that like simpler timbres are basically useless in JI, and that they actually sound better in Itos and stuff, because if the timbre is really simple and it doesn't have a lot of like overtones and stuff, then JI just sounds super fucking boring. Whereas if it's mistuned, it actually creates a more dynamic sound overall, which makes the chord sound more interesting. Whereas if you have a really high harmonic, like you have a really heavy spectral content, JI works. Not that non-JI doesn't work, but I think the beating and stuff can become more glaring and more annoying, and the buzz from JI becomes a lot more obvious as well. So that like the very like steady rhythmic interlocking is more interesting in those kinds of timbres. So yeah, I think, and yeah, like Paliak helped me realize that when I was doing some sound testing in whatchamacallit, scale workshop. The most appealing JI stuff I've heard is stuff that has multiple instruments playing in unison with ever so slight but natural errors in pitch and in harmonicity. I see, yeah. See, like I think even like Zia said that she likes to like detune her saws and stuff when she's doing JI and all that. Oh, you don't like the sound? I think that's like the best. Like the Aloe Boy stuff. But maybe he does like detune and stuff too. I don't know. So I think 53 is the closest. Dude, my Zen paper is crashing. Damn, I've been sitting here forever. Maybe we should just go play some lumatone. Well, we're almost done. Alright, let's just finish this up. I think 53 is the closest. Metallic sheen. Where's that metallic sound come from? I wonder. Because it's in 41 and 53. So it's, I mean, I guess it's like it's that high frequency beating is just really fast, so it just sounds like a pitch almost. But I don't know, it's like weirdly metallic. These are all like weirdly metallic. Except for 31, it sounds wet and sloppy. That's when it's slow. Dude, this one sounds sick. There's some, I think you can hear like two overtones. Something like you can hear like two pitches in there. It's weird. All right. Last one. Okay, these are all kind of out of tune. 31's very bad though. Huh. This one's really out of tune. And then can't really tell with these two. Since I turn off random phase, mitigate that. Potential phase issues JI can cause. Interesting. Dude, I kind of want to look at some JI saws too. Maybe we'll do that later though. Okay, my dog keeps bugging me. I'm gonna load up those lumatone mappings you sent me. Really curious to try the 88 Edo. Should I look at the 31 Edo first or just try the 88, do you think? I'm gonna see what my dog wants. And then I'll do that. Let's try 88 then. Same as 31, right? Alright, so I need to get this set up in Piano Tech, I guess. Let's start with that. Are all these supposed to be black? Yeah. They're not black. They're just dark. Alright. Let's do it. Okay. Ah, they actually have colors. Interesting. Christmassy. Alright, let's fix this. What's wrong with this? That sounded like the way, or sounded like that Pat Metheny song. Interesting. Yeah, sounds like that. Hamathini. Oh, Bright Size Life. Sounds like Bright Size Life. Hamathini and Jocko. When they were teenagers. Yeah, I'm not like playing it accurately, but there's something about those like the jumping up the fourth or something. I can barely see these, but I can see that they're different colors. It's kind of interesting. These are like dark green. I guess you can kind of see it on the camera. These are like dark yellow or orange, and these are like pinkish. Is there any like... I mean, do the colors... I don't know what the colors mean. I mean, these are obviously a major scale. But I don't know what the blue's supposed to be. Because that's a minor chord. So imagine this. I don't know what flat is in this system though. I don't know the circle of fifths and all that. So F, C, A, or F, C, G, D, A, E, B. So F sharp is a dark. So the dark yellow. So the sharps, and then I don't know what the light blues are though. You just like the super high contrast. Oh, so it's just the projective tuning space colors. You go one step to the left of your root and get 8/7. Oh, that's that. Where's this? going from the bottom of the red line to the bottom of the orange one? Oh, let's see. Whoa, chorus. Hey Gabriel, what's up? Are we going up? I suppose so. Your 13 is one key to the left from your major 7. I see, okay, so... those other notes right? Where's the 11? That sounds insane. Getting some nice sounding stuff out of that. Thank you. Thank you. Sounding great. Thank you so much. So much thanks. I do appreciate the contented audience. Thank you, everyone. Yes, I know. That was great. I agree. I do appreciate you guys. Yeah. Now what? That wasn't funny. I don't know why that was funny. It's really, I didn't even say anything. I'm just confused, honestly. Alright. Okay. It's probably enough of that. Thank you, enthusiastic audience. You got a soundboard? Yes, I have. It generated some sound clips using the demonic AI. And I double-clicked those waves. There, my soundboard is a folder. In my external hard drive, where I keep all my samples. Don't tell Zen Discord. Abnormality already gives me a hard time for using AI art on my music videos and stuff. What do I care? I have nothing to prove. I've been a starving artist forever. What does it matter if I use a little AI? It's cool by me. I'm no tech bro, but I have no issue with that kind of stuff. Yeah, I'm fine with it myself, because there's a lot of people who kind of suck at making art, and now they can go click a bunch of buttons and they feel like they're making art, even though it's really not the same thing. Some people do make cool stuff with it, so I can't knock that. And most people make a bunch of trash, and that's just how it is with everything, so. I think to be really good at it, you do kind of have to have some idea of what you're doing. And it probably helps to have learned things the hard way. And I mean, the fact of the matter is, like, as things change and technology changes, it gets easier for everybody. Like, nobody could do microtones the way we're doing them today. Shit, even 10 years ago we didn't have like a lumatone even, so I'm all for the tech. Does it suck that that's what AI is doing well instead of like cleaning our rooms and shit? Yes. We need AI robots to do chores and shit. I mean that's what I want more than anything. Not doing the microtones the right way. How do you not own a grand piano and learn how to tune a piano and tune it? Yeah, exactly. Although I do have an electric piano that I have retuned many times. got a CP60, Yamaha CP60. I haven't touched it in months though. I mean, it's kind of a shame because I have too many toys now. But I got the CP60 for free. Someone gave it to me. Yeah, it's not super common, but I think Radiohead has one, or they have the CP70 or something. It's definitely out there. But it's cool. It's just like an electric guitar, but it's a piano. And actually, I always wanted that. I didn't know it even existed. But like, ever since I started playing keyboards when I was like 15, I was hanging out with my guitar buddies all the time, and I was like, man, it'd be so cool if there was a piano that you could plug in like an electric guitar. And I wanted to invent one. And I went and recorded with my old band at this studio in Savannah, where I'm from. And they had a CP70, and that's the baby grand version. And I was telling the guy recording us, like, oh man, I always dreamed about this. Like, I didn't know this existed. Like, I was gonna invent this. And he was like, oh well, I got the other version of this keyboard, of this piano in the back. So the CP70 is like an upright, like a baby grand, and then the CP60 is like an upright, like a spinet. It's not full. It's not 88 keys, but it's almost. And it's got real strings, and he said I could have it. So my bandmates and him helped me load it up in my old Scion. We carted it over to my old house. And it didn't work. That's why he gave it to me, was because it was completely dysfunctional. But he said he'd help me fix it up, which he kind of did, but not really. But when I moved to Atlanta, I found a guy who got it working for me for pretty cheap. Actually, all it really needed was like a preamp and a couple new strings. But the thing is, it just sat in the back of the studio and kind of just degraded, and it was totally, like, all the electronics were gutted, and they put those in the CP70. So basically it works, but it's not like in its pure form. And since it's sat in the back, it's like doesn't play very well. So I actually got a book on like piano restoration, and I've been wanting to dig into that book and fix up this piano, but I'm just so busy. Like, when am I gonna have the time? But I would like to retune it and probably just like do JI stuff on it. Which I've done before, but again, it just plays like shit, so I just kind of stopped doing it. Yeah, it's a cool instrument for sure. And I hook it up to a bunch of guitar pedals and have a lot of fun with that. Or I used to. But nothing beats being able to play like a trillion fucking notes. So like, can't get off the lumatone. Ergonomics, it's fine for scales. I don't know how I feel about 88. It's a lot of notes. I don't know. I can't really make sense of it. For chords, it seems fine as long as it's not like more than 4 notes. Oh, you can play a 9 chord pretty easily. It's not bad. It's pretty good. Definitely good for 4-note chords. A few 5-note chords, so that's pretty decent. I mean, obviously, if you do like clusters and stuff, it's even better. I can reach a 10th, that's nice. It's not bad. It's not my favorite, but it's not bad. I have that 31 layout. You said 46. You just like the minor seconds. Yeah, I mean the mean tone sounds very, very nice in this. I just don't know what else. I don't know how to do others. The thing that I don't like, which is just, it's just a matter of I just don't understand this layout. Is I don't know what any of the alterations are. I don't know where the neutrals are. I can tell like this is like super major. Like that's super major. I guess that's neutral. But then you have some missing or difficult notes in there too, but I don't know if it's even worth checking those out. That sounds pretty good. I understand 31 somewhat, so maybe if I try that, I'll make some sense of the layout. But yeah, I'll try the 46 as well. I do like 46 so far. Let's tune this. Five octaves. And some change. So I think this is neutral, minor, subminor. Okay, that makes sense. I do think the slantedness of it is a little kind of favors the right hand for scale stuff. But it's definitely doable with the left hand. I guess there's a couple ways to approach it as well. But yeah, in 31 there's some redundancy and stuff, which is probably good. But I'm not really sure. But normally that's good. And sometimes, like, what's good for playing, like, maybe this is good for chords though. I don't know though. I think for chords it doesn't seem to matter as much. Yeah, those aren't bad. I think for arpeggios, I like this more than Bose and K. Like the horizontal Bose and K. That's really like the biggest weak point of that layout. Yeah, I don't know about this stuff up here. Like, I don't know what you do with this, but there's a lot of other layouts like that too, where it's like, I don't know what, seems like a chunk of it is like, maybe it's good for certain keys. I guess so, yeah. And I guess you have I mean, really the scales aren't bad for the left hand. I mean, they're doable. Maybe there's a slight right hand advantage, but I don't know. I don't think it's a huge deal. Yeah, I do like it. Let's see. So to play a minor scale, I would just do this. To play major, I would do this. That's pretty straightforward. To play super major, I would do this. And to play sub minor, I would do this. And to play neutral, that'd be the toughest one, I would do this. I do think that a little bit of redundancy does help here. So that's accessible. So neutrals with the neutral 7, and then sub minor with a sub minor 7, super major with a super major 7. Those are all accessible. And then like random ones like super with a sub, easy, sub with a super. Let's try neutral with a sub. Neutral with a sub. Yeah, I think like the 4-note chords are pretty straightforward to find and easy to play. So that neutral scale you're doing is what nice tone would be like in 46. Yeah, arpeggios are tough on the horizontal bows in K. Yeah, that's my biggest gripe with it. Yeah, I don't know. This one's pretty promising because it has good range too. Where is it? It has better range than this too. You know what? I might just start trying this one when I do 31 stuff. This modular layout. Because I really have been frustrated with the layouts. Because the angled bows in K has less range. And what was that other one there? I think Romeo sent me this. Oh yeah, this one's just hard to make sense of. Yeah, this one's not bad. I might start trying this one. I might try learning Prelude in this. Prelude in C. Oh, that feels weird. It's not like a piano at all, because it doesn't have that horizontal thing. I guess that's kind of a drawback. Because it's very, like, vertical. So if you want to learn your piano music on here, it's probably gonna be hard. Not that it's not playable, but you just have to approach it differently. But that's not the worst thing necessarily. Okay, let's try that 46. Such tiny keys, it seems like any layout's gonna have some drawback. Yeah, I mean, I don't know that there's a perfect layout, but I think every layout is good for certain things. And obviously, a lot of it just boils down to personal preference. So I'm gonna like certain things. Other people are gonna like other things. It's just how it is. But we can still learn from each other. I like to figure out what's happening. I don't know. Actually, that Mothra 31 seems pretty promising. So I think I will probably explore that one some more. Let me get piano text set up. Can't find my thing. Here it is. Okay. Just copy and paste the track again, and then we got 46 this time. And try this out. So we have 5 octaves. I don't know that every note is represented, but we have 5 octaves. So this should be Ito steps down right. Okay. What? So you lose a couple notes up here and down here, but for the most part you have everything. I guess starting here, you have everything. And then somewhere up here you lose it. I guess right here, I guess. It might not be till here. So these, you lose a couple notes, and then down here, you lose a couple notes. Okay, but you have most of the notes. .46 has a nice kind of 12 Ito sounding diatonic. That doesn't sound very 12 Ito. Take that back. And we have a nice tone. Oh, that sounds good. Unfortunately, the nice tone is not very friendly, and there's not a lot of redundancy. Because, like, how do you even play this chord? Because if you have big hands, this is probably easier. So these are Ito steps. So there's so between the second and the third, there's 8 steps. Between the third and the fourth, there's 3. Super metallic. Sounds crazy. I guess that's neutral. It's minor. It's like infra minor or supersus. It's like minor or sub minor. Sounds kind of. That sounds kind of neutral. Super major, major. It's got like a down major, neutral major. It's got like a up minor, neutral minor, a minor, sub minor. That could even be like an infra minor, I guess. Like a weird sus chord. You love that 46 Ito sound. It's a shame that it's unusually got shitty mapping. It's probably your favorite layout you've seen for it so far. 46 sounds pretty crazy. I know Ground likes it a lot. I think it's her favorite. Or one of her favorites. I think Paleac likes it just because it includes 23. But yeah, it doesn't get a lot of attention. Paleac loves 23. I can't tell how much of it is serious and how much of it's just a meme. But to be fair, I don't think he can either. But no, I do think he genuinely likes it. 46 sounds really tight without being overly GI sounding. Yeah, I kind of see what you mean. Yeah, I feel like 46 is kind of like a middle ground Edo. Like it's not like perfect JI, but it's got like good sounds. It's got kind of a unique character. I do think it's a good Edo, but there's just so many tunings. Like, what do you focus on? And it's a lot of notes. Now let's take a look at some of this. So it's actually really good in the 13 limit. It's got errors across the board, but they're all within 6 cents. Actually, 17 is almost perfect too. It's tasty error, yeah. Prime 3 is sharp, prime 5 is sharp. Prime 5 is the worst, it's 5 cents sharp. No, 13 is the worst. It's 6 cents flat. But 11 is 3.5 cents flat, 7 is 3.5 cents flat. Oh, that's interesting. I wonder if that's a DR thing there. Did I find 11? 13 is 6 cents flat. I don't know if that was right. Prime 23 is really close, but it's kind of random. I don't even know how to use that. And then prime 31 is really close as well. 2 cents off. I'm not hitting the harmonic 7. Oh, my bad. Now let me take a look at the chart. So the minor 7 is an Edo step up from the harmonic 7. And then the $11 is 2 up from 4. That sounds about right. And then 13 is 2 up from a minor 6. So where's my minor 6? Not an easy chord to play. Sounds pretty cool. It's got a good 17 as well. Up minor 2nd. Where would that be? 31 would be it's not on here. They're really not listed on here? What's 3116? Yeah, I gotta look it up. I don't know what it is. 1145, okay. So that's the up major 7. I'm not really getting anything from those. Probably just don't know how to use it. Up minor 2nd. Moss Titonic's not bad. I think that's nice tone minor. Really hard to play over here. Yeah, that one's not friendly at all. It's okay over here though. So what do they call these thirds? So the Moss major is 4/7. Oh, that's a really good 14/11, isn't it? Yes, it is. Holy shit. I really like that interval too. Damn. It's like 1/10 of a cent off. So what's the minor version of that? Is 13/11? $289. $14/11 and $13/11. That doesn't seem right. I'm not complaining. They're both tuned close to those intervals. Seems like my finger. So like a super major and like a sub minor kind of. Of the sub minor, the 13/11 is not that flat. Oh yeah, no, not from 12 Ito. It's kind of flat from just. But the 14/11 and the major is way sharper than. The major is like 17 cents sharp of 12 Ito, but the minor is only like 13 cents flat. I guess they're not that. I guess that's not that big of a difference, 13 and 14 cents. Now we have a just third, just about. Not really though, it's like 390, so it is really close to 12 Ito. Oh, so nice tone is close to 12 Ito, that's what it is. Weird. That sounds really good. It's got a nice little grind to it. So it's kind of. Hey, Daniel. Hey, Daniel. Messing with 46 Ito right now. So the Moss diatonic is like kind of 11, kind of 13 limit. The thirds are anyway. And then nice tone is like kind of like 12 Ito. Well, sort of. Actually, the nice tone minor third is almost perfectly just. That's interesting. So interesting. Should I learn to use Surge XT? What software synths do you have? Do you have Serum? Do you have Vital? Do you have Pigments? Do you have any good ones? My answer is, if you have Serum, Pigments, if you have Serum and Pigments, don't waste your time, because those will do everything Surge does. You could still get Surge because it's a good master. If you just have Vital, then yeah, go ahead and get it, because it can do some things that Vital can't. So Vital's basically like really similar to Serum, but it sounds a little different. It's not quite as versatile, but it's a great sounding synth, and the workflow is pretty similar to the workflow on Serum. But Surge is fine. I've done a lot of stuff with Surge because it's free and it's microtonal, and I still use it as like a master tuner sometimes. And very occasionally I'll break it out to actually do some sound design, but it really just sucks compared to pretty much everything else in terms of the sound. It's like it can sound fine, and some people do really cool stuff with it, like Tristan Bay does a ton of stuff with Surge and he makes it sound really good. But for me, it's annoying because the interface never, like when you tweak an LFO on there, it never seems to match what you think it's gonna do. Like all the rates and everything, I don't know what it is about it, but everything just feels off. Like they didn't calibrate it to sync up with the user experience in an intuitive way. Like maybe it is actually very accurate, but synth designers have learned to, kind of emphasize certain sweet spots, or just, I don't know, figure things out. I don't know why it is. That's kind of a guess. I don't really know. Or maybe it gives you too much of some things and too little of other things. I don't exactly know. It does a lot. It has a lot of different like synthesis like engines. Like you can do sine wave stuff, you can do FM stuff, it's got everything in it, but for some reason it just never, or not never, but it's hard to make it sound good compared to like Pigments, which it's almost hard to make Pigments sound bad. And then it is versatile, but it doesn't quite do as much as like Serum. So if you want a synth that is going to sound good without a whole lot of effort, but that does give you some control, I would get Pigments. If you want a synth that you can do a lot with, that maybe has a little more of a learning curve, but does sound great, I would get Serum. It also has great presets too, though, and you can like download people's stuff. And then Vital, I would just get regardless because it's free. It sounds good, and it's basically like a baby Serum, but it does sound a little different. It's got its own kind of quality. It's got its own character. Yeah, you can do MPE stuff with Surge. You can do microtonal stuff, obviously. And you can do multi-channel mapping, so it works well with lumatone, which I haven't messed with yet. And it also has linnstrument presets. But yeah. So yeah, the minor third, the Moss diatonic minor third in 46 is basically 1311. The nice tone minor is actually like almost a perfect 6/5. It's only 2 cents off. And then we have a sub minor, which is a pretty good 7/6. Wait, hold on. Here's minor. There it is. Pretty good 7/6. It's like 6 cents flat. That's right there. That's a 7/6. That's just like a sus chord. So sub minor. It's like a just minor. It's like a up minor, or I mean, this is the Moss minor. And then the next one, double up minor, 11/9, 3.39 cents. So yeah, it's like a neutral minor. It's really close to 11/9. It's only 1.5 cents off, or 2 cents off. Only 1.5 cents off of 11/9. So you have some good 11 limit stuff in this tuning. And then we have a neutral major, which is pretty good 16/13, I guess. 365. A Pascal, what's that? This is 46 EDO. $26.21. 2117. It's a really good 2117. Then we got the major. That sounds really cool. Quite buzzy. It's not really that close to just though. It's like pretty sharp. 386 is just. This is 391, so it's like 5 cents sharp. And got that 1411 major third. We got pretty good. Not really. It's like right in between 9/7 and 13/10. Kind of similar to 27's super major. We got like a sub fourth. So, man, like this has like every flavor of interval you could want. It's got 2 types of neutrals. It's got 2 types of super majors. It's got a really cool major third, nice tone major third. That's like a little softer than 12 Ito's, but sounds really similar and really cool. And then it's got a really good 6/5 minor third. What was the Moss minor? This is 1311. Only 2 cents off of that. And then it's got a sub minor that's about 6 cents flat. It's got a good enough 7/6, a really good 6/5. This 1311 thing, which is kind of interesting. It's like in between. And then 2 flavors of neutral. We have neutral major. This one's pretty close to like 26 Ito. It's like 365. A neutral minor. And the neutral major, it's got like a scale that goes with it. Kind of cool. And then neutral minor. And do either of these split the 5th? What is the 5th? It's 27, so no. But you can split the 5th in 3. The up major is 7. Up major 2nd, I mean. Gives you kind of a weird pentatonic moss or 6-note moss if you prefer. Interesting sound. cool scale. That's pretty good too. That's the toughest. Like, how do you do this one? Oh, there we go. Do something like that, I guess. Or like that. I think I was playing this wrong. Yeah, I don't have that note here. And that would be an obvious one too. I keep playing the wrong ones though. That was really hard to do. Might be easiest to start scaling a note higher up on the board and then hit that there with a thumb down somewhere. I see what you mean. Like change the key, yeah. Definitely could. That's okay. There's that cool Slendrick stuff in action. So okay, that's interesting. 46 is interesting, that is for sure. And then the 11th harmonic is 4 cents flat, if that. 3.5 cents flat. Not bad. It's got that 521. That's in like 22 or 27. Can't remember. But it's a cool fourth. It's got a tritone. Gotta love it. Like a perfect 600 cents or whatever. Alright, what time is it? Oh damn, it's already almost 7. Shit. Alright, it's a little later than I thought it was. I guess I started late. Well, I do want to play with some saw waves in JI, but maybe I'll save that for later. Cause yeah, I gotta get to sleep pretty soon. But yeah, that was fun. Alright, so yeah, we checked out some 46, some 88. I forgot to update the tuning and shit. No, this is normal. Thank you. Yeah, thanks for sharing these layouts. It's interesting. I think, I mean, I do like 46, but it does seem like it's not, it's not really a friendly layout, unfortunately. Maybe there's a better layout for 46, but I am really interested in the 31 Ito layout. I think 88 is probably a little too complicated for my tiny brain. I don't want to have to keep up with all those different intervals and stuff. I think even like 46 is like so many. Like it's hard to think about like there's that many thirds. 41 can also be laid out this way since it supports Slendrick. Interesting. Yeah, I'd be down to check out 41 as well. But I do think this is not bad. I think in 31 I'm gonna explore it because it's pretty straightforward. In 31, you get a little more range than horizontal bows in K. And it seems like the redundancy is more evenly distributed, which is always nice. So yeah, I think of all the tunings I looked at tonight, 88, 46, 31, in this layout, I'm probably most excited about 31. But 46 is a really cool tuning. So, I mean, it also depends on what you want. Like, I'm always thinking of this stuff in terms of, like, how would you deep dive a tuning? Like, how would you, like, main tuning or something. So that's not like necessarily a practical standard. Like, you know, for a tune or a set of tunes or whatever, you could just get a layout that does certain things you want. That's probably like a healthier way of looking at tunings anyway, but I think that's why I like kind of somewhat smaller tunings, because I feel like there's the potential to like really dig in and kind of figure out what it can do, and kind of explore it that way. Like 22 seems like a nice spot for that, where it's like it's got a lot compared to 12, but it's not so much where it's like seems like it would be really difficult to keep tabs on everything. Okay. With that being said, I'll catch you guys next time. Yeah, I got you. The small tunings are really unique and have their own niche. They're very playable, yeah. But yeah, you know, if you approach it from a different angle, which I think a lot of people do, which is like, okay, this tuning supports this temperament or this sound or whatever, and it has a particular flavor of that sound that I like, then you can make your mapping support that same temperament or layout or whatever. And you can just explore that specifically, and then you don't really have to worry about the tuning's too big or whatever, or I'm not getting so many of some notes. It's like you get the temperament you're looking for, you have it in some related keys. That should be good enough for that. And I get that. It's just not, it's not really how I've been approaching things. Okay. Once again, I say goodbye and thank you. Thanks everybody for checking out the stream. I know that you guys don't want me to go and stuff, but no, it's, you know, we gotta move on eventually. Like I got work tomorrow and I gotta sleep, and that one's kind of weird. No, it's getting a little weirded out now, honestly. But yeah, I mean, it's time to go. So, okay, I will be back tomorrow though. So hope to see you then. Okay, thank you. That's enough. Thank you. Very nice.